Some players were able to pick up the Greater Gifting Crystal in 2022. This might require some explaining. It includes Google Point, Daredevil, She-Hulk version, and possibly Born Again version by Nick Coss. We'll see that in a minute. Summoner's Choice 2022/2023 has begun, or the Underdog vote, so to speak. We see how the voting is going so far, and as well what happened to the other ones, the previous years, and so much more in the show. Yes, hello everybody, hope you're doing well. Welcome to the show for Wednesday. We've got a lot of things to go over today. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It is free doing so, and as well put notifications on all, because we've got a video coming out later on all about the new batch of relics. Yes, look out for that. And now we kick off the show with talking about Battlegrounds. A little thing so far, there's probably many things that have got to be talked about when it comes to Battlegrounds, people still using a 2-star thing in their defenses, people quitting out, blah blah blah. All the stuff that really comes with Battlegrounds that we've seen last season is now in this season. But something to point out is that there seems to be a reoccurring objective bug. So as someone says here, bumping a thread, which we're going to cover in another thread. I don't see the victory objective, but do see the complete 3 objective. Victory objective was there this morning, but now it's gone. New season, same problems. So a couple of people talked about that, with Kabam Jack saying the team has been made aware of the situation, is currently investigating, and provide more information as it comes up. But yeah, it's just the same thing. There was a fresh thread that was started off. Some people were saying that they, even after like stuff like here, 2 victories, objective gone, you guys blah 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 blah. I'm sure there'll be a compensation for it with this, because it's kind of like unfair. I think someone even pointed here, notice my win did not update the objective restarting my game, and it was gone without awarding the appropriate tokens, just adding here for visibility, and that was as of yesterday. So yeah, like look, here's the thing, it's an objective you obviously have done or worked towards, and then it's like, right, well, you should be getting this. I would anticipate some level of compensation for this particular matter. But as I said, it's very early days, and the Kabam reported this as of 2 days ago, so I don't know if it's going to be done anytime soon, but just thought I'd kind of update, because I know a few people have mentioned this. And now we move on to Nick Coss. Nick Coss, is great to see Nick Coss back in action. He did a Beyonder one a little while ago. I need to mention about that one, but this is really cool because it's, look, it's Daredevil. It's Daredevil She-Hulk version, or it's Born Again. It really does depend on like how they kind of like continue the suit, whether they go back to the old suit. I kind of feel they might just kind of return back to the red suit when it comes to the show. But yeah, pretty impressive, especially because it shows the new acrobatic skills of Daredevil, and kind of puts it more, less kind of Netflixy, but more kind of like comic booky, which I think is cool. I guess that's kind of something of a direction that they wanted to go in. But you can see the man without fear, also the man that can quite comfortably like sense where all those bullets are coming at him. Look, even with like all these characters here, Spider-Man Noir, I mean, I would say that's Joe Fixit, but I don't think it is. I think that's more kind of like, it looks like Colossus with a gun, and I can't really tell what character that is. That looks like could be a Black Cat variant. I don't know. In any case, there's Captain America, like the Hydra version, or that part of me thinks that it could be US Agent, but it's not. It's going to be like. I can't remember what it was called. Serpent Supreme. What am I talking about? In any case, it's amazing. Go check it out. Support Nick Coss. Link in the description. Right, so now let's get into the more meatier stories of the show and the Summoner's Choice. Summoner's Choice is in full swing, and that's great. You can see that the characters are Morgan Le Fay, Okoye, Dazzler, Armor, Spider-Woman, Bullseye, Prowler, Blue Marvel. Okay. These are not the scraping, I'm not going to say the scraping of the barrel, but these are kind of the lower end of the last 2 votes. So where we've had characters like Morgan Le Fay, Okoye, and some of the newer ones, which I think are Blue Marvel, Prowler. Yeah, in any case, those from 2020 and 2021. So respectively for the 2021 and 2022 release of Champions. So it's all pretty exciting for that one. I think that's kind of like, it's definitely cool to see. If you're not familiar how this particular situation works out, is that you have to retweet a champion you like from the ones kind of listed, whether or not it's Armor, Blue Marvel, etc. Then you will see that the winner will get that spot of, I believe, being in the running of the many different Summoner's Choice champions to win. So it could be a case of going, oh, I really wanted to see like Bullseye, or I really wanted to see Blue Marvel like in, and then it's like, yeah, sadly it's going to be like part of like a bigger vote. So it could be a case of there's some bangers, real bangers of champions that the player base want to see. We'll have to see, because it's November when you start seeing I think the full vote for this one, or I think it's later this month, and then it's kind of factors into a November of week 1, this versus this champion, etc, etc. Now if you are interested in how the voting is going so far over on Twitter, well, Mr. King put this out yesterday, and that was a little kind of bar chart to kind of showcase that close to 300 votes is Bullseye. I know you said Blue Marvel then, Bullseye, and then Prowler is just sneaking up there. It was just under like 280 mark. But what we can do is give you the live update of what is happening right now. So we have got ourselves Armor on 105 retweets. We have got Blue Marvel on 319 retweets. That's pretty high. But so far we've got Bullseye on 517 retweets. So that went up by 317 retweets over the last few hours. And then we've got Dazzler at 191. Surprised, because I know a lot of people were wanting Dazzler to come into the game. Morgan Le Fay's on 221. Okoye's on... oh, I thought it's pretty bad at 117. I thought there was a lot of popularity around that. Prowler is 437, and then we've got Spider-Woman on 355. So currently it looks like in the lead by a good margin, not ridiculous, but a good margin, is Bullseye. Anything can really change. And as well, do bear in mind that this will probably be the version that you see. We'll keep up to date with the votes, but look, we have until the 24th of October until this ends. So get voting, people, get involved with Twitter, and we'll see who wins by the 24th. Oh, just before we go anywhere, just to kind of like answer against a question here, which was going by Kabam Mike's comment earlier. I'm assuming that means that Beta Ray Bill, Agatha, Spider-Woman, Morbius, Crystal, Zemo, Kushala, and Ironheart are already on the list to be released. Kabam Mike said not exactly, right? There's some very interesting things of what's happening next month. As what you know, next month is Wakanda Forever. Now, with Okoye being in a Summoner's Choice, it means that that is probably not going to be a champion that is going to feature in to like release. So it's if it's in a Summoner's Choice, it's not going to be released as a champion, because you're like, why are we getting a Summoner's Choice for a champion that's been released? This basically means that we are likely to... I mean, personally, I feel we're going to have Ironheart into the game. That seems like it's a no-brainer. The second thing is that what is going to be the second champion? Especially as, will it be... I don't think it'll be Namor, because Namor is already in-game. It'll kind of be a bit weird. But saying that, we've got all these Iron Men, so I guess, and Spider-Men, so it's kind of like, yeah, things are a bit weird in-game. It could even be the new version of the Black Panther, but I want to say that's kind of kept as a closely guarded secret as to what they're doing with it. And I think a lot of us kind of guess what it is. It's just a case of, will Kabam be allowed, or have been allowed, to develop that champion? But saying that, with movie variants and versions, I don't know if Kabam are actually kind of falling in line with this stuff at the moment. So it could be anything. It could be a random villain. It could be a sidekick. It could be M'Baku. You never know who it is actually going to be next month. But I definitely think Ironheart is definitely part of it. Especially with Okoye being in the Summoner's Choice. You kind of go, well, it's not her. She's not coming in next month. But in any case... I just thought I'd kind of like add this final little extra point to it, because it is very, very interesting. Now, just before we get into arena predictions, this is a really interesting story, because speaking of interesting in the previous one, this is actually really interesting. So NW82, shout out to MW82 for sending this in, says interesting appearance of a GGC, Greater Gifting Crystal, available with Google points, given that the gifting event is no more. Valued at £4.50, a crystal though seems a little high. I mean, I do agree with that one. Yeah, it's difficult to put a value on stuff like what is 300 units of value within MCOC nowadays. But it was certainly interesting to see this pop up. And there was a few responses to this particular part here, with DL even saying, so Herald of None, saying, I've checked and I don't see that as a purchasable option, unfortunately. So it's very weird. Like, for some people, they see it, and some people, they don't. So, yeah, they could have removed it. So, yeah, it was really weird and interesting to see a Greater Gifting Crystal on offer. And whether or not, you know, this is debatable. Put in the comment section, do you think this is a bug? Do you think that Kabam kind of like, you know, should or shouldn't have, like, maybe they put it on by mistake, maybe it's on a yearly type thing, or maybe it's just there just because Kabam want to kind of like go one last hurrah for it. If anybody's not familiar with Play Points or Google Points, it's when you, I believe, spend money or earn points within the kind of playing sphere of Google and Android that you're able to get these particular points. And yeah, well, funny enough and great news, MW82 very kindly purchased this and meant that we were able to go check out what he got in that particular crystal to see if it worked. Now, for science purposes, and thank you to MW82 for kind of like purchasing these points, because we were like, well, it's great for science, but at the same time, it's his points. So, you know, this is really kind of him. Thank you for doing that. You can see the GGC was kind of got there with the Google points. So it is legit. Like, this is legit. I guess it's kind of like a case like some people have this, some people don't. I guess it's depending on region, or maybe it's just depending on, I don't know, like a random offer being given to players. As I said, I'm really unsure about this, and maybe there's something that Kabam had slipped by the wayside, but it's weird that they're offering this at the moment, and we're still yet to see, you know, what's equal similarity to the GGC that we might see this year. So first of all, that MW82 gets the gold and ISO, and finally ends on some 5-star shards, 5,000 of them. And you might be thinking like, oh, is that a bit of a disappointment? I mean, look, we expect to see something spicy. I don't know. Sometimes I feel that these GGCs, it's good to kind of see them kind of, well, go, and maybe Kabam can make some better ones when it comes to like the release of them at a different time. But very weird to see. Thoughts in the comment section about that one. And we'll have to kind of theorize the future when it comes to the replacement of the greater gifting crystal and the gifting event, which obviously is going, sort of. But we've got it for one last little hurrah. And we end with arena predictions. Predictions for Hela and Scorpion. Scorpion is your basic and Hela is your featured champion. The predictions I'm going with is Hela as a 6-star 75 mil. I'm putting that in line with some recent arenas, especially for champions that haven't been kind of like right up there. It could be a case it goes higher of like 80. But I don't think it's going to go any higher than that. It'd be a bit too ridiculous for Hela. 5-star version, 28 mil. Scorpion a 6-star, I'm going with 80 mil. I know it seems a bit high, but comparing it against recent arenas like Omega Sentinel that went incredibly high in the basic, and also the Black Cat arena, which first round went 80 mil, I kind of think there's a good cause to say 80 mil is going to be a good cutoff. And then 20 mil, normally it's around about 15 to 20 mil is the kind of like the 5-star featured kind of area, 5-star basic kind of area when it comes to popular champions. But we'll see what happens, and we'll do the results on Monday's MCN. And I just finished by giving a massive thank you to those that support the channel as a YouTube member and as a Patreon. You're on screen right now. Thank you so much for keeping that love and support, keeping the channel going as you do on a monthly basis. Also, those that support on twitch.tv/RichTheMan live, links are always in the description. I didn't live stream last night because I was a bit burnt out from work that I've got to be doing, but I should be back live streaming tonight. I just got to clear a few things off of my slate of work, and yeah, look forward to seeing you then. And finally, check out some other content which is located on screen right now. There may be another video today. Oh yes, that's it, the relics video. So yeah, check that out later on. Cheers everybody, bye bye.